Well, we've been hearing from the governor of Maui, Josh Green, and he's saying that he expects this death toll to rise at least into the 40s. Now, we're expecting an official update in a couple of hours' time here. He's also now putting the figure of buildings destroyed at 1,700. Earlier, they were saying that about 1,300 buildings were thought to have been destroyed. Now, those 1,700 buildings include many businesses over on the west side of the island. We're currently on the east side of the island. And what's happening here is that people who were affected in Lahaina are traveling over here if they've managed to get out. And they're seeking shelter in places like this. This is the local high school being used as a shelter. There's a couple of churches being used as a shelter and a big stadium complex. Now, some of these people are arriving here without anything. We spoke a short time ago to a group from a restaurant who were in that situation.
We all work together. We are from a restaurant that burnt to the ground.
In Lahaina?
Yes, ma'am. So we're just regrouping to file some paperwork and try to get some relief for our friends and start to try to figure out what's next.
And what about your home? Do you have homes over there?
No, not.
Everything is gone.
Everything is gone.
Completely gone.
Everything is going.
So what's the plan now for, first of all, for immediate needs?
To get to that car, to get on the computer, to start filing some relief for them through FEMA and federal.
I don't know how long time, so we stay here in the gym and we have food, we can sleep, some blankets.
And lots of people are coming by with food and water, with clothing, with bedding for the people in these shelters here. But we're hearing that people think it's still not going to be enough. There are buses also still evacuating people from that side of the island. The road is only open in one direction. You can see that the winds are still pretty strong here, but they're significantly down on yesterday. There are still fires burning on the island, but authorities are hopeful that with these less strong winds that they will finally be able to get those under control.
Barbara, we know that this is a small historic town of about 13,000 people normally, but at this time of year, because it's holidays, it swells because of the number of visitors, and so a significant number of tourists, they remain stranded. How are efforts going to get them out?
Look, I guess they're going pretty well. Hundreds of people have managed to make it off the island. We were at the airport earlier. It was still pretty busy with people who were still waiting for flights. Airlines are putting on extra flights and reducing prices, we hear, to try and get people off the island. The people we spoke to said they were taking really any flight they could get that was somewhere close to where they'd hoped to be. The ones we spoke to had been through a bit of an ordeal themselves. Many had spent the night in the airport, and they said that they didn't really have any, I guess, regrets about having to cancel their vacation because they had seen the plight of the people of Maui, the people working in those resorts who are so dependent on the tourist industry, and they felt themselves relatively lucky. So people, I think, throughout today, and one woman was saying she couldn't get out until tomorrow, are managing to get off the island, and that's the message from authorities. Please, the visitors should leave and visitors shouldn't come to Maui. They are, however, stressing that other parts of Hawaii are still safe. Big Island, the resorts around Honolulu, people that shouldn't cancel their travel plans there, they say, because, of course, there, as well as very much here, very many people dependent on tourism, and particularly at this time of year.
North America correspondent Barbara Miller reporting from Maui in Hawaii.